Her honesty made them feel seen for the first time. Imani's story was resonating far beyond the D'Angelo fan base. It was touching anyone who had ever loved someone who couldn't love themselves fully in return. Still, not everyone reacted positively. Some critics accused her of trying to capitalize on her father's name. Others questioned her motives. But Imani remained calm through the backlash. She explained that she didn't speak out to gain attention or sympathy. She did it to find closure. Her words weren't meant to expose. They were meant to heal. Sometimes the truth, she said, isn't about secrets. It's about understanding why people hurt the way they do. That message struck a chord with countless viewers. Suddenly, the internet wasn't just talking about D'Angelo the artist. It was talking about D'Angelo the man, the father, the fragile soul behind the fame. Imani's voice had done something powerful. It shifted the narrative from scandal to empathy. But her revelations didn't stop there. As her story gained attention, people began asking the question that had been whispered for years. What really caused D'Angelo to disappear from the spotlight for so long? And did Imani finally reveal what happened during those missing years? When the world first noticed D'Angelo's absence from the spotlight, it sparked a wave of confusion and curiosity. Here was a man who had once been hailed as the savior of soul music, a voice so pure, so magnetic, that it seemed impossible for him to simply vanish. After the success of his legendary album, Voodoo, fans expected more music, more tours, more of his signature presence. But instead, D'Angelo disappeared. No interviews, no performances, no explanations. For years, there was nothing but silence. Behind that silence, though, was a storm. And according to Imani Archer, those years weren't about mystery. They were about survival. In her heartfelt reflections, Imani opened up about what it was like to witness her father's quiet collapse, not as a superstar, but as a man struggling to breathe under the weight of fame. She described those years as a blur of distance, where phone calls were rare, visits unpredictable, and conversations often cut short by exhaustion or sadness. Imani revealed that growing up, she didn't fully understand what was happening. She saw flashes of her father's brilliance when he was home, his laughter, his passion for music, the tenderness in the way he talked to her about life. But then, without warning, he'd be gone again, retreating into isolation. To a young child, that absence felt personal. But as she grew older, she began to realize it wasn't her he was running from. It was the world. She explained that after Voodoo, D'Angelo felt trapped in an image he never asked for. Fans didn't just want his voice, they wanted his body, his mystique, his sex appeal. The untitled How Does It Feel video had turned him into an icon of desire overnight. What people saw as art, he experienced as exploitation. The constant sexualization, the pressure to maintain that image, and the unrealistic expectations crushed his spirit. He didn't want to be a fantasy, Imani said softly in one interview. He just wanted to be human. According to Imani, that period marked the beginning of her father's downward spiral. The fame that once lifted him began to consume him. He withdrew from friends, distanced himself from family, and became increasingly reclusive. Music, the thing that once gave him joy, became a source of pain.
Wow.
Each time he tried to create, the pressure to top his last masterpiece weighed him down. Critics called his silence artistic perfectionism, but Imani described it differently. It wasn't perfectionism, she said. It was fear. He was afraid he lost himself to the image people built for him.
Wow.
She spoke about visiting him during those difficult years and how she could sense his inner battle. There were moments when he seemed almost like his old self, gentle, funny, and deeply reflective. He'd tell her about his love for old soul records, about the musicians who inspired him, and about his dream of making music that healed people. But then there were other moments when he seemed far away, lost in thoughts he wouldn't share. He'd stare out the window for hours, Imani said. It was like he was somewhere else, fighting something I couldn't see.
She looks like Aaliyah.
As his career faded from the public eye, rumors began to swirl. Some claimed he'd gone off the grid. Others said he was battling addiction, but very few knew the full story. Imani confirmed that her father had indeed struggled with substance abuse, but not in the way tabloids painted it. She explained that his addiction wasn't about partying or recklessness. It was about pain. He was trying to quiet the noise, she said.
Boxers can't put together